Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob. There are moments in life that don't announce themselves. They don't arrive with music or certainty, and they don't knock on the door and say, everything is about to get better. They slip in quietly, almost unnoticed, like the way evening settles in without asking permission, or the way morning light slowly fills a room while you're still waking up. And if you're not paying attention, you might miss them. Not because they aren't important, but because they're gentle. I think hope often returns that way. Not as a breakthrough, but as a soft shift. A breath that feels a little easier than the one before it. A moment where your shoulders drop just enough that you notice the tension had been there all along. A thought that isn't quite as heavy, and you might not even call it hope at first. You might just think that didn't feel as bad as yesterday. There's something deeply human about how we expect hope to arrive. We imagine it as a turning point, a clear line in the sand, a moment where everything suddenly makes sense and the weight lifts all at once. But most of the time, that's not how it happens. Most of the time, hope comes back the same way that it left, quietly. There are seasons when it feels like it's gone completely, not just hidden, but gone. Like something inside you packed up and left without saying goodbye. You still go through the motions and you still show up. You still do what needs to be done. But there's a dullness to it. Like the color has been turned down on everything. And in those moments, people will sometimes tell you to stay positive or look on the bright side. And it can feel like they're speaking a different language entirely. Because when you're in that place, you're not looking for brightness. You're just trying to make it through the day. And yet, even there, something is still happening beneath the surface. Even when it feels like nothing is changing. Even when it feels like you're stuck. Even when it feels like the best you can do is just keep moving forward one step at a time. Something inside you is still holding on. Not loudly, not confidently, but steadily. There's a kind of strength in that, guys. The kind we don't talk about enough. The strength of not giving up when you don't feel inspired. The strength of continuing when you don't feel hopeful. The strength of staying when it would be easier to shut down. And maybe that's where hope begins its return. Not when everything gets better, but when you didn't disappear. I've noticed something over the years. Hope doesn't usually come back when we're chasing it. It doesn't respond well to pressure. It doesn't arrive on demand. It tends to return when we've stopped trying to force it. When we've settled into simply being where we are. Even if where we are isn't where we want to be. It's almost as if hope is drawn to honesty. To the moment when you finally say, this is hard, and I'm still here. There's something real about that. Something grounded. And in that grounded place, something begins to shift. Not everything, just enough. Just enough to remind you that things are not as permanent as they feel. Just enough to create a little space between you and the weight that you've been carrying. And in that space, guys, something new can enter. Maybe it's a small moment, a conversation that feels a little lighter, a memory that doesn't hurt quite as much, a laugh that surprises you because you didn't expect it, or a quiet sense that maybe you're going to be okay. Not because everything is fixed, but because something inside you is still alive, still responsive, still capable of feeling something other than heaviness. And that matters more than we realize. We tend to overlook these moments because they don't look dramatic. They don't feel like transformation. But you know what? They are. They are the beginning of something, the return of something. Hope doesn't rebuild your life all at once. It starts by reminding you that your life isn't over. It starts small, and then, if you allow it, it grows. Not by replacing the hard things, but by existing alongside them. That's something we don't always expect. We think hope means the absence of pain, but often it's the presence of something gentle in the middle of it. A reminder that you are more than what you're going through. A reminder that this moment, however heavy it feels, is not the final chapter. And maybe that's what this is. Not a breakthrough, not a resolution, but a return. A quiet, steady return of something that never fully left, even when it felt like it did. So if today feels just a little lighter than yesterday, if something inside you feels just a little more open, if there's even the smallest sense that you can take one more step forward, don't rush past that. Don't dismiss it. That's not nothing. That's the beginning of something finding its way back to you. And sometimes that's how everything changes, guys. I love you all very, very, very much. And you know what I need you to do. Go out and pass that on, okay? Later, Gators. Bye-bye.